Hello everyone, welcome back to the Will the Reaper channel. In today's video, I'm going to be determining whether or not I'd be able to beat each FNAF game based on beating the first 5 nights, or for Ultimate Custom Night and FNAF World and stuff like that. I have my own rules for it, but let's get right down into it. So, for Five Nights at Freddy's 1, honestly, I think this would be pretty beatable. Keep in mind, instead of 8 minutes, it would be 6 whole hours. But realistically, all I'd have to do is just constantly press the door lights and keep the camera on 2B or 4B, whatever it is, the bottom right camera, and just check on Freddy the entire time. And then check on Foxy maybe once every, 15-30 minutes. I could literally just play my phone, and if I hear something, I'll just shine my light at it. I know it sounds super easy, like as if I'm making it sound like it's much easier than it actually is, but I mean, unless you're doing the custom night or night 6, having to just beat the first 5 nights, the animatronics barely move. Freddy is barely active. The only thing that would kill me is if I accidentally went to press the light switch and the animatronic grabs me or something like that. Or if I forget that Foxy exists and I forget to check on him and he, kills me with his sound, I get a heart attack or something. But I really think the FNAF 1 game is not too bad. It's not luck-based entirely. The 5th night might be a little bit difficult, but I think I'd be able to do that. If I have an energy drink or two, I'd be able to get, shake off the sleepiness, but my life would be in danger, so I'd be acute and sharp the entire time. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Now, here's the problem I have with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I don't think I'd be good at putting the mask on, right? And having to constantly wind the music box, right? Five Nights at Freddy's 1, you just have to worry about both doors, putting the camera on Freddy, and then checking on Foxy every now and then. Those could be done 10-15 minutes in each, interval. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, though, I'd have to constantly check the hallway, the left vent, the right vent. I have to be constantly winding the puppet, right? Maybe Shadow Bonnie appears or Golden Freddy, and I'm screwed or something like that. Plus, like I said earlier, I don't think I'd be that good at putting the mask on. You have to keep in mind, for 6 whole hours, right, you have to make sure that you are on top of your shit every single second, or else you will die. And I think FNAF 2 just requires so much attention, so many different, multitasking things. I think, even though it's only the first 5 nights, very difficult. I don't think I'd have the stuff to do it. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Honestly, I'm going to say I can beat this. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is extremely luck dependent, which is why I'm a bit iffy if I can beat Springtrap or not. The thing is that the first 3 nights are freebies. Even if it's still 6 hours long, as long as the hallucinations aren't horrible, or I just remember that they're hallucinations, I think I'll be fine. Nights 4 and 5 are a bit difficult, right? But I think my strategy, because there's only one animatronic, I could either try to outrun Springtrap if he somehow ends up getting near my office, or I could try to crawl through the vent. Because if you think about it, yes, Springtrap can crawl through the vents, right? But I don't think he'd be able to crawl it faster than me. Think about it. He's a gigantic robot, right? And his movements are very mechanical. So you'd have to be like, zoo, zoo, zoo. But me, I could just be like army crawl through those vents. So, I think I could just do that. FNAF 2 requires a lot of multitasking. This doesn't. This is the least amount of multitasking I could possibly do in a game. If my cameras go down, I reboot them. If the cameras are fine, I look at Springtrap. If ventilation goes off, I reset it. There's not a whole lot. And yes, Springtrap can be a bit aggressive in Night 5, but nowhere near as bad as Night 6 or, Nightmare Aggressive mode. So if I'm only doing the first 5 nights, I think I have Springtrap locked here. No pun intended. But yeah, it depends on how bad those hallucinations are. If I just constantly remind myself that these are hallucinations, and I'll be fine. I'm expected to see the scariest shit, but it's not going to hurt me. I think I'll be okay. Because as long as I just focus on the fact that Springtrap's the only thing I have to worry about, anything else I do not care about. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is very difficult to decide. For 6 hours straight, you're in nothing but pitch darkness, pitch black darkness with a flashlight, and that's all you have. You cannot run away because, Nightmare Foxy will literally just chase you down, and there's nothing you can do. Like, literally, Nightmare Foxy is the fastest character, I think, in the entire game, in all of Five Nights at Freddy's. So you can't run away. Even if you ran outside, Nightmare Foxy will obliterate you. I remember no pun intended, I actually had a nightmare about that. And I ran away from the house, and Nightmare Foxy just chased me down for, 10 minutes straight, and then once he finally caught up to me, I, woke up, and I was, sweating to death. But, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, I think I could honestly survive this. Think about it. The whole game relies on sound. You don't have to see anything to win the game. You have to rely solely on sound. If I open up that door and I hear a gravelly noise, I just shut it. And I shut it until I hear them walk away, right? You can keep Foxy at bay all 5 nights. It's not even that hard to do. Even in, the ultimate, whatever it is, not ultimate custom night, even in, the last, the hardest mode in the game, actually hardest mode is Insta Foxy, but, the one before that, I think it was, the 2020 mode, night, 10 or something in the game, because there's so many nights. The 420 mode, you can keep Foxy at bay the entire night if you play your cards right. And so doing that in the first 5 nights, I think it'd be super easy. And then realistically, I could just sit on the bed the entire time and just watch the Freddles if I hear anything. But yeah, I do think I could survive it if I have, my senses about me. It would be terrifying, though. That's the thing that gets me. The nerves would get to me. Anyway, enough rambling on FNAF World. I'm not surviving. Okay, if you want to talk about beating the game, the base game, I'd have to beat the security owl, right? And surviving, even though I could get revived by, the coffee machine or the puppet, if I were to do the Halloween version, get all the Halloween characters and I have a squad with me, and then, it's me versus, with all these characters versus, all of, the snowballs and stuff like that, I would still probably die. That snowman with the machine gun would probably shoot me first, and I die. And then it doesn't matter if I get revived or not. I did not survive. And the owl security thing has the orbs that literally insta kill you if you get hit. There's no way I'd beat that, right? And this is the base game. I'm not even talking about beating hard mode where you have to beat Scott Cawthon at the very end, where he has the wall that just immediately kills you, or the rainbow, for God's sake. I wouldn't even be able to enter the cave with the rainbow. I'd just choke to death on the toxicity, the toxic air, and, that I call it a day. But even the most vanilla version of the game, there's no way. If if that octopus creature or the pig creature, whatever it's called, or one of the countless endos you find decides to attack me first, I'm dead. I'm gonna get torn to shreds. I don't survive that in the slightest. Sister location, I do not survive, no matter what. So because you're Michael Afton, that's the only reason why Circus Baby bothers to help you. If you're not Michael Afton, Circus Baby's not going to be there. Circus Baby will probably be the one to kill you, right? And, the AI program thing, what's his name? Lulbit? That's the Foxy name. I forgot the name of the actual, dude that helps you out. Hello there, welcome to, 5 Nights at Freddy's, whatever it's called. He's programmed to kill you. He's supposed to lead you down a death trap. Anyway, so I probably would not even be able to beat the 3rd night. You know what I mean? The night where you have to deal with Funtime Freddy in the alleyway or whatever, the little short circuit station where you have to play the audio, that would get to me. I think I would die there. But regardless, you die in the end. If you get the bad ending, you get your guts scooped out. If you get the good ending, Ennard tracks you down and kills you anyway. And yeah, you know what? If I were to beat the Ennard Night, I could easily just drive to a different state, and that's it, and I'd survive. I don't think I'm beating that Ennard Night. I think I would run out of power. Think about it. Your power runs out so quickly in that night, and if you see Ennard, even, halfway across the map, I would immediately shut the door. I'd be so scared. The mini arena night in night 4, that is a horrible night. Probably like the hardest night, one of them in the entire series. They actually had to nerf how difficult it was. Scott Cawthon had to nerf it because how difficult it was. Even post nerf, it's difficult. I would die there. The keypad sequence on Circus Baby, I would die there. The nerves would get to me when you have to enter the keypad. Yeah, it would just be horrible. Actually, you know what I just realized? I can't even access the Ender Night because in order to do so, I have to beat the Circus Baby mini game, which you can only get if you die. So, at least I think so. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you only get it when you die. So, or maybe if you beat, I don't know if you beat on the 5th night, but regardless, like, I'm not making it past the 4th night. No way. Pizza Simulator, yes. The only thing that would kill me is if somehow during the salvage night, an animatronic breaks in. So what I would do to survive is I would just do the bankruptcy route, or I would just do the mediocrity route where I would just play games the whole time and then log off for the night. Good thing about this is that it probably only takes like 10 minutes to do each like actual night, because you just have to like watch as the computer fulfills orders and stuff like that. But yeah, when you do the salvage section, you can either choose to proceed with the salvage or throw them back in the alley. I would obviously throw it back in the alley. But there's some times when you get really unlucky and they hold the stick figure sign and it's like making this face and it's like I'm already inside. If I see that, I'm screwed because I'm not that good at Pizzeria Simulator. I'm going to be honest. I am horrible at it. I've never actually fully beaten the game with like more than 2 or 3 animatronics in that system at once. I get so confused by it. But like if there's only one of them, I might be able to manage it. But realistically, the chance of having all like 4 or 5 animatronics somehow escape the salvage and just enter the restaurant is so astronomically low. So, if I try to like speed run bankruptcy or something, I think I'd be able to do it. But yeah. Anyway, enough going on a tangent. Ultimate Custom Night. Not in the slightest. I'd say to actually beat the game, not in its entirety, just generally, I'd have to probably set every AI to maybe like 10 or 15. There's just no way. Enough said. Help Wanted, I don't think I'd be able to do. Same thing with Help Wanted 2. Because even though some of the games are kind of easy, the vent, what's it called? The vent repair scene. There we go. Sorry. The vent repair sequence, I would not do well in the slightest. First off, I'm not the most claustrophobic person, but being stuck in a vent and knowing there's an animatronic like right next to you, that would scare me. I'd panic so badly and I would easily fail that. The actual like Five Nights at Freddy's like game night modes, where it's just like the virtual reality like FNAF 1, that I think I'd do well, and I think I could survive those pretty well, but just the stuff like the vent repair, there's just no way. And there's way too many games for me to go through for me to actually like not fully, but to like beat the game regularly, or like Five Nights, whatever you want to call it, for me to actually survive. I would just die. This is not included. It's like their showcase thingy. Lastly, Security Breach. I don't survive that. I don't know if I'm able to just walk away. Is that an option? Can I just like walk away at the start of the game? I don't think so. Actual logic and reasoning. Rockstar Freddy is the only thing keeping me from getting torn to shreds. And Rockstar Freddy is not big enough for me to fit inside his stomach and, be hidden away. And I don't think Rockstar Freddy would care about any of us at all unless you're like 9 years old. So you have that. I don't know too much about Security Breach. I wasn't like the biggest fan. The DLC, some of the games I forgot about. The DLC version, FNAF Security Breach, like the Ruin mode, I would not survive that. Into the Pit, I don't think I would survive that either. I haven't really watched too much of Into the Pit, but it looks like terrifying. I don't think I would survive that. And Secret of the Mimic, I haven't watched a single video about Secret of the Mimic, but I also don't think I'd be able to survive that either, because it kind of just looks like you're just running around and hoping not to get chased by something, which is a lot more like free roaming and I guess more volatile than, you know, the initial FNAF games, right? Like Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 3, and even 4 technically, like you could just kind of sit there and check on things every once in a while, but in Secret of the Mimic, it looks like I do a lot of moving around, right? Help Wanted 1 and 2 and Security Breach, you have to be moving around a lot. Sister Location, you have to be moving around a lot. FNAF World, moving around a lot, right? But yeah, so those are the games I missed out on, but, you know, I think it'd be pretty fair to say I don't think I would survive, like, any of them besides these 4 right here. Even still, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 require a significant degree of luck, and Five Nights at Freddy's 4, I'd also have to get somewhat lucky or just keep my nerves. But Pizza Simulator and FNAF 1, I 100% think I could beat those and, you know, not die. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, and my, you know, incessant babbling about this stuff, and thank you, and please consider liking and subscribing, as it would truly help me out a lot. I'm going to try to make a video each and every day. If you didn't enjoy the video, well then, I don't know, leave a hate comment or something. It boosts my engagement. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you on the next video, and take care.